and employs over 50% of Cameroon's workforce. So if you think about that, that is a huge impact to our economy and to the workforce. Yet, despite being blessed with having fertile land, despite being blessed with having hardworking farmers, and I'm sure many of us grew up in Cameroon, even working on farms and can relate to that, most of the produce in Cameroon get exported in raw forms. By that, it means that we are missing the opportunity here to transform the product, the produce we make, into the next stage. And by so doing, we are missing, obviously, on a lot of additional economic value that this could create, both for our people and our community. So that's being changed as we speak. And we are very honored to have today two amazing speakers, two amazing guests who will be sharing their insights, their journey on how they have been leading the transformation of agriculture in this sector. Just for background, for those who are not familiar with I Am Cameroon, I Am Cameroon is all about connecting, engaging, empowering, and inspiring Cameroonians across the world. So we celebrate the success of Cameroonians both at home and the diaspora. We try and connect each other, inspire each other, learn from each other, support each other, and see how we can build a movement that is really designed from the grassroots to empower, inspire, and enable each other contribute to the best, and by so doing, help contribute in making a difference into our community. So without much ado, I'm going to welcome our speakers who are here with us today. So I'm going to start with Ms. Susan Quata, who is CEO of Agriculture Like Produce. Sorry, my mistake. And yeah, CEO of Diligent Agriculture Products. And also Ms. Agnes Medike, excuse my pronunciation, who is also CEO of Nayo Agrobakes Enterprise. These women are not just business owners, but they are really pioneers, community builders, and trailblazers in their own right, in turning local produce into market-ready products, creating jobs, reducing food waste, and strengthening food security. So I'd like to invite our speakers at this point to share some of the challenges they faced, share about their journey, share about the impact they're making in our community, and most really provide a perspective on the vision that they see for the future of agriculture in Cameroon. So let's get started with Ms. Susan. Again, Susan, welcome on board. So super happy to have you on board. We'll start with you first, and then we'll go to Ms. Agnes. So maybe just share a bit about your journey and really help our audience and help us understand what really inspired you to embark on this journey, right? So we know there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of setbacks, there's a lot of reason why we tend to think things cannot be done. But what made you to defy all the odds and really just embark on this journey, which is really truly transforming the agricultural landscape in Cameroon in a very small, meaningful, but also very impactful way?
I don't know where you're listening from, but good day. I'm just so excited to be on Cameroon, and I am Suzanne Kwantang Nengachu. I was born and bred in Kumba, actually born in Tiko, raised in Kumba. I've lived most of my life in Kumba, went to primary school in Kumba, high school, went to Our Lady of Lourdes College, and thereafter went and did a university in Russia. There I studied agriculture. In 1991, I went to Russia when Russia was undergoing perestroika. So I actually had an experience of communist Russia moving into capitalism. And I'm sure that's where my agricultural boost, because there everybody had to do agriculture, whether you are a medical doctor, whether you're a pilot, everybody there just had their own farm. And so agriculture there at that time was more like a must do for everybody. And I'm sure that is actually what led me to improving on agriculture where I am. When I came back in 1998, I could not get a government job. For those who were in Cameroon at that time, jobs were really like scarce and the economy was very low. But with my agri knowledge, I started doing homemade things. I started transforming little apples, our compound, local peaches, these are our red apples here in the southwest, into wine. Those are things I'd learned.
Wow.
And I started realizing that in Cameroon, everything that is not um, regular is considered not good. So I realized we had to do a lot of sensitization, a lot of mindset change. I was expected, and I expected myself to move from the old mindset, a shift in the paradigm of thinking. So that is actually those are some of the boosters that made me to get into transformation. And for those who don't know Cameroon very well, Southwest is noted for its cocoa production. And this also led me to look at why are we always importing chocolates, just like our speaker has introduced. Cameroon has a lot of products that just need to be transformed for it to be consumed. So all of this led me to do a lot of transformation. I realized that going into the farm is good, but getting those products transformed for finished products has not yet been regularized. Most of them are not developed. And those are the things that motivated me into getting into transformation. When I arrived in 1998, it was really not common to get a company. Everything was so tight. For those who don't know Cameroon at that time, it was almost impossible to create a company. So I supported my parents to start a nursery primary school. And it was so funny because with a degree in agriculture, you come and you start a school. How is it linked? But I realized that God had that as a purpose for that time because the network which I created from the school, the interactions and everything, led me to when I started my business now in agriculture, which started in 2017. I already had a lot of information. My network was very big. The people I had met were so enormous that I could now understand and do a lot of sensitization, which I had already understood at the beginning, that we need to sensitize the people to have that mind shift. So in 2017, when I created the Diligent Agricultural Products Company, I just went now into sensitizing people why they should be consuming our own products. You realize that our own products are more organic, they are better, they are local, they are made from things you know, things you can identify. And so they're healthier for you while you are here in Cameroon. And I realized that it just needed a lot. But I want to appreciate the government so far because in 2017, I think it was 2013, they created now small and medium-sized enterprises, the ministry. This ministry also came up and helped those of us who were small, making it easier for us to actually create our own company. So we realized that it was much easier now for you to create your company, for you to run your enterprise, no matter the domain. And this led me to create DAP, what we know now as DAP, Diligent Agricultural Products. And here we transform almost all sorts. We have gone from transforming wine from local peaches. We had also done ginger ale. We have done ginger cubes. Right now, we are focusing more on transforming cocoa to chocolates, to cocoa oil, cocoa powder, chocolate paste, and chocolate bonbon. And we are also focusing on transforming our local flour. We are working with plantain flour, banana flour, Irish potato flour, sweet potato flour. Most of these are transformed from our own locally produced products, plantain, potatoes, green bananas, and Irish potatoes. And we do them now into the flour, which is found in the local markets. At the moment, we are struggling with certification because, like I said, there was very little structure earlier on. Most of these products, like chocolates, the annual certification was not really complete. And so to get them certified, to get them regular, has not been very easy. because when you go to the area you are expected to get the information, you are told, no, we don't have certification rules for this particular kind of product. So sometimes you have to wait until the government to meets up with the individual mindset or the individual level of development. So I want to appreciate I Am Cameroon for bringing this up and for helping us to let others know what is happening back in Cameroon and those in Cameroon to know what is actually happening around. So we have a lot happening in the transformation. When we get the flour, we also send them out to people who can use this flour. The flour we are producing can be used for biscuits, like Madame Agi will tell you, she's using them already to produce her Nanyo biscuits, and they can be used for cakes. They can be used for so many things. I want to highlight that this plantain flour, especially, we call it exotic flour, is a flour that has no gluten. So people who are suffering from gluten, yes, who are gluten intolerant, we are advising them to use this, our local flour, especially plantain and green banana. It will help them because they will then not have to do anything about it. They just get better because they don't consume gluten. And we also want to say that some of the flour that we have here may not really match what people get abroad. Because when I try to compare some of the flour that was sent from Europe to what we have here, I think, and I did not take them to the lab, but I just think that our variety of plantain makes a difference. So we should not always be sticking, we should not be narrow-minded. We should also be open-minded to the fact that the plantains grown in Cameroon are a bit different from the plantains grown in Nigeria or Ghana, even in their taste. So too in their flour, you realize that their flour too end up being different, although they can be used for the same purpose. So we should not always say, no, I'm used to this kind of taste for plantain. When you get out there, you see the difference. So I just want to thank Cameroon for this. And I think there's a lot of opportunities in agriculture there because we, like you started, we always eat. And there is no day that somebody will go without food. So there is always space for agriculture. Like you have heard the many things I'm doing, I'm like, one person cannot really grow with all of these things. So it needs so many other people to forge ahead so that you can really focus on one and get it rightly done and get it done to maximum or to a larger scale and so on and so forth. So I want to thank the host for giving us this opportunity to let people know about what is happening in Cameroon.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so, so much, Ms. Susan. That is amazing. That is, wow. I think if there's a lot to get through out of that, but I definitely heard inspiration from what you shared. I heard resiliency, determination, commitment, focus, not giving up, pushing through on challenges. But I'm really, above all, just inspired both by your vision and thinking through something which many of us would never have thought through, but breaking this down into pragmatic terms and now beginning to bring this to life. And even we're going to see how this is now being connected to now Ms. Agnes. Maybe let me bring one of our board members who has a hand up, Ms. Tabi Masi. She has a comment to make. Right.
Thank you. I put my hand down because you had actually said what I wanted to say. But Miss Susan, thank you so much for pointing out the difference between, because we are in the United States and we have the South American plantain, and that is certainly different for those of you who go to the stores wanting to eat plantain. It is different from the plantain in Cameroon. It is so thick, it is so filling. Whereas in Cameroon, you can eat 3 plantains in one sitting cocky. In America, you can barely eat half. The texture and the density is so different. And I also wanted to point out that the glycemic index, for those of you with diabetes, the glycemic index in the plantain in Cameroon, even the one that is slightly ripe, is still lower than the raw plantain from South America. So, Miss Susan, thank you for pointing out the difference.
Yes, thank you so much. Yes, there's such a lot of difference, and that's why I'm begging the population that they should not just be close-minded. If you are used to eating plantain from maybe South Africa, like you are saying, when you come and see the one from Cameroon, don't say, no, this is not plantain. This is not how it should taste. This is not how it should be. But let us give the laxity for the differences, and then we get the best from each of them. It's not like they are not good or I don't like it because it's the way it tastes. No, it's still plantain. Is it giving me the right nutrients? Is it giving me the right things that my body needs? Why am I eating it? Like you have just highlighted the glycemia there. It's important for me that I'm diabetic to take this one and not this other one. We actually eat to feed ourselves and not just to feed our tastes. So we should be able to make some of those differences. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Simply amazing. Simply amazing. Wow. All right. Perfect segue to our next guest speaker, Ms. Agnes Mediki from Nayo Products. So again, similar as well, just building upon Ms. Suzanne's story, maybe share also some perspective, like what really inspired you to focus on transforming agricultural produce products and not just growing and selling them like we're all used to, and maybe also share some of the challenges you faced and how you overcame it, so we can also learn from your experience.
Yes, I just want to seize this opportunity to appreciate the panelists and to appreciate for us to share our experiences. My name is Mediki Agnes. I'm the CEO of Nanyo Agrobake Enterprise based in Upper Bokova in Boya subdivision in Fako division in the Southwest region. Our activities, our mission. Our mission is to promote the value of local agricultural products by transforming them into high quality marketable goods that meet both local and international demand. Our vision is to ensure that at least 90% of traditional meal from Cameroon gain global recognition, to increase household income from community members through value-added agriculture. Our business objective, to produce and sell plantain biscuits in community, national, and our local market. Impact of plantain biscuits. Plantain biscuit can be as positive nutritional, economic, and environmental impact, making a value added to dietary and economics. Nutritional benefit of plantain biscuits. The nutritional benefit is high in fiber, rich in dietary foods, low glycemic index, good food blood, good in blood sugar management, vitamins and mineral. Plantain biscuits have a good source of vitamin A, B, A, C, and B, B6, well as potassium and magnesium. Economic impact of plantain biscuits. Local agriculture. We support local farmers and promote sustainable agricultural practices. Marketing. There is a growing demand of gluten-free and healthy snacks, which are increased in market opportunity for plantain-based products. Plantain biscuits offer a distinction flavor and can be healthy, attractive to traditional biscuits. They can be part of traditional diet, enhance cultural food diversity. Environmental impact, sustainability, source of promotion, the use of local crop like plantain can reduce footprint associated with plantain crops. Transforming products Transforming plantain product is to add value on the product and increase business income. The sustainability. Processing agricultural product can reduce waste and promote sustainable by utilizing the surplus. Consumer demand. There is a growing market for organic processing for that offers convenience and nutrition and unique flavor, meeting the demand can drive innovations. It can drive innovations. Cultural heritage. Many traditional practices involve transformation of raw material into a unique product. For economic development, transformation process allow job creation and stimulate local economic, contributing to the community development of that community and for the nation and based otherwise. Innovation and creativity. Plantain biscuit allow the creation of product development, leading to new flavor texture, combination of capturing consumers' interest. Personal.
And maybe
transformation processes seek to the creation of some unique and meaningful, and it can generate income in the community, can create jobs in the community, and it's health-wise. So for in a nutshell, that is actually what we are doing and some of the impact and the advantages.
Wow, that is amazing. You guys are truly doing a lot. I mean, from the impact in the community to the health benefit to the sustainability with regards to waste. Wow, what an impact you have in the community. And maybe Ms. Agnes, if you don't mind, if you just go back, obviously we're hearing now and seeing the outcome of what you're already doing, which is very impactful. And somebody could be sitting there and saying, wow, she got it all figured out and it's all happening. But the question is, how do I get started? What gets somebody from zero to where you are? So maybe what will be helpful also for us and our audience, and this is a big part of what Cameroon is about, which is about inspiring other people to want to do something different as well. It'll be nice maybe if you could take a few minutes and just share a bit about your story, like what got you in the first place into all these Nayo bakery enterprises, plantain chips, healthy stuff. Like if you go back at the core, we typically come from a background where we see challenges, even those that get into farming, think about just immediate farming and selling their produce. So I think we'd like to hear from you, maybe your story, like how it all began. What inspired you? How did you get about it to get to where you are today?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, how it began was after my primary education, I went to my secondary school and high school. I came back, I did agriculture in our professional school here in Cameroon. I went to community development specialization training school under the Ministry of Agriculture, the Department of Local and Community Development. I'm a retired worker from the Ministry of Agriculture. I worked for 38 years before going on retirement. I was the director of Community Education and Action Center, where one of our activities was to train our farmers, especially the women and the girls. So before the crisis, we were bringing women together, training them on how to increase their production and productivity, and to train them how they can do transformation to add value and income. During the crisis, we experienced a lot of post-harvest losses because we are from Southwest region and we faced a lot of crisis whereby farmers cannot go to the market to sell their crops. So we now developed the idea and we see how we contact the Ministry of Agriculture to come and train us on how we can do transformation of all these agricultural byproducts. So from there, we pick up and we start training ourselves how we can transform plantain to plantain flour. We can transform plantain, banana, and so on. A lot of transformation training took place. And after that, we organized ourselves as a small enterprise to see how we can generate income from all this transformation. So we started selling plantain flour, banana flour, sweet potatoes flour, and etc. So later, we say everybody around Southwest now is doing transformation of flour. What can we do to be outstanding? We now had a training on plantain biscuits, how to do it. And when we started, we consult the hospital, the regional hospital of Boya, the director, to see how we want people who cannot eat sweet things can benefit from our snacks. So they now directed us to the doctor in charge of nutrition. And from there, we started. We now pick up, we are doing snacks, we are doing plantain biscuits. We are specialized in plantain biscuits. And the plantain biscuits is sugar-free. Anybody can eat it. And it's sugar-free, and it's really amazing. And we have a lot of command and demand where we cannot even satisfy our target. So we started when the crisis came in 2016-17, where a lot of post-harvest losses were recorded in our communities. That is the push factor that makes us to start doing plantain flour and plantain biscuit. We do a lot of things, but we are specialized in plantain biscuit and sugar-free. So anybody can eat it, and it's healthy.
Wow, that is truly amazing. I mean, that is so amazing and inspiring. And thank you so much for sharing that. And both of you touched several aspects that are critical for our audience, which is beginning with the inspiration of your journey and how you got to where you are, the resiliency you all had to get through to keep pushing forward despite all the awesome challenges, and the impact you are having in the community. So maybe let me build upon the last part, which is the impact on the community, since both of you touched that also quite a bit. And we talk about the health benefit, we talk about the waste and sustainability, we talk about the partnerships, and Ms. Ngwata had also shared about how we can scale, the challenges of scaling. So I'd like to maybe get your thoughts about how is the collaboration working today in the community in regards to building scale, and what would you see as the next step to scale up both the business and the opportunities you have to continue to grow, not just even to actually grow exponentially, if you think about it, given the market demand and the opportunity that lies ahead?
Yeah, concerning the community impact, we have educational programs that we train our community, train our farmers. We organize workshops on nutrition, cooking, planning. We do in short, in my own community, we work in collaboration with the chief of center, our health center. So we work in collaboration to ensure that what we are doing, what we're offering in the community is really healthy, and there's this aspect of nutrition. So that is one of the community benefits. We also support the local initiative, support our local farmers by training. And what is one of the training benefits? We buy from our local farmers directly, and it generates income. There's this it's a value chain from the production, from the farmers, the producers, to transformers, to marketing, and to the consumers. So it's a whole chain that we are working. So in our own Enanyo enterprise, we have people who are farmers, they produce. So that is the community impact. The environmental impact is that the community now is able to impact a lot of environmental activities, to be able to support environmental activities, because there is this aspect of value chain, and there is high income from plantain biscuits.
That's amazing. Let me hear also from Mrs. Susan.
Yes, we actually support, as we take the plantain from the farmers, we help them so that they don't have the waste. Like Madame Agnes rightly said, it reduces the farm waste. And when we transform it now into flour, It also helps in the economy, because people now can easily just get their flour and do whatever they want. They don't need to wait for so long, go to the farm, look for plantain, transform it. You see, they can just get what has already been done. It makes life easier, faster, and better. Because at first, before you think of doing the plantain flour, you'll be thinking of maybe going to the farm, drying it. But when you just get that from the shelf, it is much faster and easier. How we help the economy is that now we have more people employed. Not everybody likes to work in the farm. And in the transformation process, we do a lot of training as well, like Madam has said. It's just the same procedure. We train the young people, and like I highlighted, with the many products we are doing, we really need more younger people to come and take it on, to work with us, to realize their own dreams. So we hope that many of them can partner with us, we can support them in creating their own business, because we have the opinion, like you have heard, to train young people, it means that you are aware that tomorrow you will not be there. We realize that Cameroon is really blessed. We have a lot of medicinal plants. We have a lot of things which our forefathers, or some of us, were not opportune to know them when we're young. But now we are willing to transmit the knowledge we have to the younger generation so that it can continue even after we die. So I'm actually helping about 4 or 5 young people create their own business. So I'm actually a mentor to some of them. So these 5 people, and they're in the process of creating their own enterprises and going ahead with their own farming. I don't only limit them to agriculture like plantain farming. Some are into snail farming, some are into palm weevils and mushroom farming. And so we support them in ideas, in letting them know where to get the right information, because that is information circulation is one of the challenges I had during the start of my journey. When you go to one office, they will just ignore you or abandon you to yourself and tell you, we don't do this here. And you are realizing, I cannot come to the Ministry of Agriculture and I'm talking about something about farming or transformation. I tell me you don't do it. Then where else would they do it in Cameroon? Meanwhile, you don't tell me that it is door number 7 that is in charge. You just make as if your own door comes, and so that kind of information circulation. I'm also grateful to the social media, because it has also led to that, so that circulation of information, to make it easier, to make it faster, to make it more beneficial to the young people. I think that with that, any young person who wants to do their own business, there's a lot. They don't need to go through all the hurdles. They just need to know who to consult and where to talk to. And they may not have the challenges that we had some 15, 20 years ago.
That is truly amazing. That is truly amazing. Wow. You touch on several points there. Maybe there's 2 that I really want to zoom in further on. And you talk a lot about the impact on youth, younger people, younger generation, and the work you're doing already, which again, just amazing. Hats off to you, not just for the training, but also for the mentorship, which is super important in our community, and how you're helping mentor those youth to continue to grow. And also the impact on social media in terms of spreading the word and inspiring others. So as we think about maybe the youth or the younger generation, like you put it, we all know that our kids go through school, and in school, they're going to learn a lot about many topics, from English, math, writing, you name it. And one of those topics that we grew up learning was also home economics, right? So I wonder also, as we think about the quote that goes along the lines of, you give a man a fish, you feed them for a day, but you teach them how to fish, you feed them for a lifetime, right? So I wonder if there's also opportunity to enhance some of our curriculum that is currently being taught in schools to bring this aspect of agricultural transformation in our academic and school program. So it's not just the 2, 3, 4 of you trying to teach a handful of people, but now you have more schools teaching this. I don't know any perspective you may have on that.
Okay, yes, I want to highlight that Cameroon curriculum is actually changing. It is because now basic education, they have agriculture there on the curriculum. So if a school, I happen to, like I said, that when I came, I helped my mother to create schools, and we have diligent bilingual school in Kumba and in Bafusam. So in the schools, there's actually agriculture as a topic. And it depends on how the school management or the people in that school handle that particular exercise or that topic, let me say that particular subject. For some schools like us, we elaborate on it. We have the farm, we encourage them with entrepreneurship. We actually make sure that they get into the farm, they do their farm work, and they understand what it takes, the culinary and everything that the curriculum says. But for other schools, they may not. It's not the government that has refused them, but it is the individual person, or sometimes, I will not say, sometimes it is the means. They may not have the means.
Right.
In urban areas, if they want to do agriculture, then they'll have to look at hydroponics or some town farming, gardening, pot farming, and things like that. They may not have the means, or they may think that they don't have the means, but I think if they go down the drain of being creative and thinking out of the box, they can always get a solution. So we actually encourage, and like I said, social media has helped, because in most of our forums where we have schools, those schools that are doing agriculture are always posting it on. And as they post, others learn and others copy. And over the years, I'm thinking that all of that will come to be different. So we encourage from nursery school to do agriculture. That's the first thing. Secondly, I also want to highlight that we have now vocational training centers, which are really popping up in left and right around Cameroon. And they have up to the Advanced Vocational Training Center in Limbe. Actually, in Cameroon, there are just 4, but they need to develop them, yes. And good enough, they have tried to equip some of them with good equipment. But I just want to say that there is a possibility of people investing in these educational sectors. So somebody who wants to invest in educating the children on vocational training to learn maybe how to manufacture machines, there is that opportunity. It's not like a no-go terrain that you may want to come and say, okay, I want to do mining, and they say, no, you cannot exploit the soil of Cameroon without another. So they've already made some of those things have their, like I say, information is very important. So most of those things now have a way you can go about it and create a vocational center. Based on that, like I talked of mentorship, we at Diligent, we have created a vocational training center in Kumba, where we are hoping, anyway, we have already started. We have the children, they do 30-70. So 70% of the time they are found in the industry working actually on how to foster their skills. So the 30% is for the theory and the 70% is for the practicals. Since Kumba was one of those economic, like the crisis zone, I'm sure many people till now are still afraid to come to Kumba because of the Amber or the NOSO, as we say, crisis. So you are not sure what may happen. So we have a lot of children who did not go to school, who have not gone to school for the past 10 years. And we are trying to recover them. They cannot go back to the normal school. So they are needed in these vocational centers to try and catch a skill. Like I say, when we train them and they can set up their own business, we also support them to actually set up the business, run it, and make it beneficial to them and their families. So that's our own way of giving back, of helping the young, of supporting them in various ways. So through the training centers, through the vocational centers, for those that we cannot train, we give them the information of where they can get the training. So if they come to us, we can advise them that maybe you want to do a fitter machinist, maybe to construct. We cannot do it here at this our center. We don't have the necessary equipment. We do motor mechanic, which is different. So we can advise you that you can go now to the next level. Like I was talking about Limbe Advanced School of Vocational Training. So it's just to know where to get what. It's very important.
That is truly amazing and so wonderful to hear. Thank you so much, Madam Susan. And maybe let me just build upon some of the points you make, and bring on Madam Agnes for perspective here. You spoke also about the opportunities in partnership and how we can leverage social media more to continue to drive this work, inspiring other youth. But I also wonder, starting with Madam Agnes, what do you see as some opportunities for partnership? We heard, for example, there could be room for people to partner to train kids in vocational program. Maybe there's someone is listening to the call and say, wow, how could I invest in a similar program or invest in maybe in your business to help grow or scale? Do you see some opportunities of partnership in this sector that could further accelerate the potential in Cameroon?
Yes, there's a lot of ways to invest.
Maybe let's hear from Madam Agnes first. I'll come to you, Madam Susan.
Thank you.
Sorry.
You.
You're on mute, Madam Agnes. You're on mute. You're on mute. We cannot hear you.
Maggie, unmute yourself.
You're still muted.
We are not hearing. Unmute yourself.
Can the host unmute her, please?
Okay, now.
Okay, it's okay now.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, there is a lot of opportunities in Cameroon here. Like we have government institutions that they are cater for young farmers program on agriculture. We have like the Ministry of Agriculture. We have a young farmers training center based in Moyoka, but now they are in Boya because of the crisis. They are training youths on different thematic areas. And by the end of the training, they are supported with their project. When their project is approved, they support them with some startup capitals. We have Ministry of Women Empowerment and the Family. They are also doing a great job in terms of training women in small businesses, and they link them to other organizations. We have private sectors. We have NGOs that they are training and support. We have NGO like Reach Out Cameroon, LOCMEF, and the rest. We have a lot of them. But the problem lies is that the information, there is lack of information flow. That is the problem. We have the opportunities. Like in my own center, we are doing partnership with people who can come and support those young women, the IDPs, and young girls. So there's a lot of opportunity.
It's amazing. Madam Susan, anything to add?
Yes, I just want to say that, like she has highlighted, there is a lot of opportunities, but the challenge we have, or I see, is it is more the young people not willing to participate. We have a lot of young people who assume that I should just sit and money be given to me. Or if I go abroad, money is just littering on the streets. So there's a major challenge with the youths, which is the first one is the mentality of I must go abroad to make it better. And the second is I think better off going. I'm better off being a different, but not the road.
Right. Sorry, you're fading in and out. Did we lose you? Can you hear us, Madam Susan?
Yes, I'm getting you very,
okay,
very
all right,
well.
okay. We lost you there briefly. Okay, and maybe there are a couple of questions in the chat that I want to try and pivot to, since we're getting close to the amount of time here. Maybe one of the questions, Madam Bediki, and you shared a lot about the biscuit, we planted biscuit, which is truly amazing. So is this now really available now in your enterprise, like available for people to buy and like on the shelf? Can people get this already or not yet?
Yes, it's available.
Okay, so maybe we'll be happy. Maybe we sell some pictures or something that could also help promote it and encourage people to share it. And we'll be happy to also showcase this on our Cameroon social feeds. That way, it also helps as we're talking about social media and exposure. We can also help promote and share so people can also both get inspired by what you're doing, but it can also help drive some traffic and bring you some new customers, which will be amazing. And there's also a big market here abroad in the diaspora, of course, whether it's Europe or here in the US, where we're always looking for such produce, especially plantain chip. I myself, I'm a big fan of plantain chip. I think I have them in my house every single day, whether I'm buying on Amazon or Mexican store. Is there an opportunity there to export to the US, or have you thought about that, or can someone help you, or some partnership could help you look at exporting that? Because that could open up a whole new market for both of you, right? Mrs. Susan, making the flowers you need,
It will.
You are transforming this to finished product, and you're exporting it here.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, we'll be happy to do that.
Okay.
But
So
we'll need some support to be able to do it because, like I said, certification in Cameroon is a bit challenging. But we are hoping that with time, we'll be able to get the certification and then the license for export. Because yes, I can just export one, I can just send 1 or 2 packs, but that's not actually business. So to be able to get it in the market in Europe, we need more, and then we need to get the export license. So if we could get a partnership with somebody who is already into exportation, and then we can supply the person already has his export license and he uses his export license to export it. That's already part of the value chain we are talking about. And so it's a win-win for us. I don't need to go and get export license to start exporting when I'm doing transformation. I concentrate on my transformation, and he who is doing marketing concentrates on his marketing, and we all of us benefit from the product.
absolutely, absolutely, very well said. It's like divide and conquer, right? So I think again we have an amazing audience listening, and we're going to share this further. And we encourage anyone who has the expertise in this area or in the export area, especially that could partner with you. Do you have like a contact? What's the best contact to reach you? Either contact number or email or website? What would be the best way for someone to reach out to you? Maybe we can share that.
Well,
Fantastic.
My number is 67. It's a number anybody can reach at any time. And I prefer the number either through WhatsApp, through email. Sometimes, like you have noticed, it's not very easy. Sometimes to send the email, we don't look at it often. But when it is a WhatsApp or a direct call, it's very easy accessible, and I'm always online. So a WhatsApp call, a direct call can always go, or message on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And
Maybe we can just put the number in the group
Yeah.
chat. That way we can put it in the chat, and then we'll have it going forward. And I will also.
Yes, I'll just put my number in the group chat.
So let me go.
My number and my group chat already.
Okay, okay, fantastic. So I see that coming up. And while we're just going through, scanning through to look for, checking for questions from the audience, we are obviously also very mindful, and maybe it's a coincidence that both of you are women and are women leaders in your sector by your own right, which is just amazing. Do you see any specific challenges for women getting to this sector? Or what will also be your advice for younger women, specifically young girls that are looking at you and say, wow, someday I want to be like Madame Midiki or Madame Susan? Any thoughts, say words of advice for younger women looking to be like you someday tomorrow?
Actually, I want to say that there is a lot of challenges. That's what I'm a mother of 2 and a wife, and it's not easy carrying out business and being a wife and being a mother. With the many things I'm doing, sometimes my children ask me, "Mommy, when my friends ask me that, what do you do? What do I say?" I say, just say the many, many things that I'm doing. So it's very challenging being all of that. And sometimes I have to use my children and even my husband to help me realize my activities. So some of them are like, "Mommy, I don't want to work in this your company." They feel that they are forced to follow my dream, which is what I'm trying to tell them, that you don't have to follow my dream. You may have your own purpose in life. And one of the challenges is sometimes I'm not really willing to let them realize their own purpose. I may not be very willing. But what I'll advise the young girl is that stay focused on what your purpose is. Because some of these things, if you are going to copy somebody, you may not be able to withstand the challenges that come with it. So just try to realize what is your own dream, what do you really want to achieve, and stay focused on it. Get somebody who always encourage you, because there are times when you are really down and you really feel like abandoning everything and just staying in your house. But when you talk to somebody, to a mentor, to a partner, to somebody who encourages you, you get up on your feet and you start again. So it's not an easy ride. It's very challenging, and we can always work with anybody who has the dream and the will to work.
Amen to that. Thank you so much. And I think one thing stood to me, you said it very well, which is it's not about falling, but waking up after you fall. And that's a big difference because we know life has a lot of challenges. There's always a lot of difficulties. We are going to stumble. But the key thing is that we don't just give up after we stumble, after the first challenge. We pull ourselves back up and we keep pushing forward. So always remember that as well. That is fantastic. What about you, Madam Agnes? Any words of wisdom for younger women?
I think Madam Suzanne have said it all, but I just want to add, as a small enterprise, some of the challenges that we are really facing. The aspect of equipment. The aspect of equipment, like we need the dehydrator, we need the industrial baking machine, because since I'm doing baking, we need it. And at times we used to face a problem of packaging. The packaging material, at times you look around, you will not see it. You have to send right up to Bamenda before you can have it. So that is some of the challenges that we are facing as enterprise, as a community enterprise. Those are some of the challenges. And if we can improve on those challenges, we will create jobs. And more people will benefit from the project. The community will benefit, as the nation also will benefit. We will expand our business, producing more than what we are producing now. So there's this aspect of equipment as enterprise.
Thank you so much, and I'm happy you share that. And maybe just since we're also running out of time, just to build a point upon the challenges you shared, which is especially linked to the equipment and the examples you get. For example, do you see an opportunity, or how can local communities or the government or private individuals, even here in the diaspora, help with overcoming some of these challenges? Any thoughts there or perspective?
Pardon? Network is really difficult.
Okay. No, I was just trying to ask, with all the challenges you mentioned, if there's an opportunity for either local community or the government or private individuals to help with overcoming some of these challenges.
Yes, the government can help, individuals can help, but the problem we are facing is that we don't have access to information, who can do what and how can you go about it. That is the problem. We have those difficulties. We have the government is assisting, but before you get it, is so challenging to a small enterprise like us in the community.
Okay. So if somebody can support, maybe, okay, you maybe like you're in Europe, you know that there is this baking machine that you can support Madame Agnes with. And then you tell her this baking machine can cost maybe 1 million francs, but you pay it over 1 year, paying me maybe this amount of money. You see, those are some of the help you can give us. That you buy the machine, while we are using it, we are paying it back. At the end of the day, we own the machine and it continues producing and helping us to produce more what we are expected in the market, so that we can meet up with our production rates and market demand.
Okay, that's fantastic.
I think if we can get some of those individuals who can support, it can go a long way to help. Or if the government can give a grant or a loan with little interest for small. We are talking because we are small companies. And when you go to the bank to get any loan, any equipment, if it is not the interest rate, it's going to kill your company.
Okay, very helpful to know. And maybe before I bring on our, go ahead.
And also, we have a challenge of capital. Capital is also another challenge. We don't have access to loan because of collateral and so on. So it's very, very challenging to even have access
lack of collateral
to finance.
Right. No, that's for clear, because we all know that this machine requires capital, and you said it very well. So this could also be the room for partnership in the diaspora. So for many of us who are out here and looking to invest in Cameroon, which I know many people are looking to invest in Cameroon, this could then create opportunity for strategic partnership, where someone could help with the capital needed to invest in those machinery, And by so doing, you can also scale your business through a partnership. And there could also be a partnership in exporting and importing to the diaspora in terms of creating that end-to-end supply chain for your produce. So I think that's great discussions. Unfortunately, we're out of time, and I'm sure we'll probably find a way to bring you both back again because this has been truly amazing. And maybe before we begin the closing, what's your favorite Cameroon dish or Cameroon music?
Thank you. Thank you. Actually, my favorite Cameroon dish is mpu fish made from plantain flour.
Okay. The plantain theme continues there. That's fantastic.
And the Cameroon music is makossa.
Okay, very good.
Makossa.
And what about Madam Agnes? What's your favorite Cameroon dish and Cameroon music?
My best Cameroon dish is plantain eating with mpu fish. That means plantain eating plantain. So that is my favorite dish. I'm a fan of plantain.
Very good, very good, amazing. And any favorite music or artist or song?
Actually, I enjoy the day and go at all times, especially Serise, because when I look, there's a lot of meaning as to what the youth should be going through.
There you go. Seriously, what about Madame Agnes? Any favorite song or music or artist?
I love music also. I love music. Traditional music.
Traditional Cameroon sound.
Sounds good.
There's a lot of great traditional artists in Cameroon, and we're always promoting, and I love them as well. So at this point, I'll also bring in, we are very fortunate today to have on our panelists, I am Cameroon president, Mr. Bambo Ngwana, who is in the call. We are very fortunate to have our wonderful, inspiring founder, Mr. Ariel Benson, and two of our amazing female directors, Madame Marie Noel, who is also my co-host today, which I'm bringing on, and Madame Tabe Mase. So Marie will start helping us with close out, and a few words of inspiration as we begin to wrap up today's show.
I just want to say this has been amazing. Thank you very much, Miss Susan. And by the way, your name is so long. Susan Kwantang Ozigi Ngancha. Which part of Cameroon are you from? Because I see every corner in your name. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for coming. Thank you, Miss Agnes Mediki, right?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. I am Cameroon today. This topic of agricultural transformation, food transformation is huge. And I'm so proud to see that women in particular are leading this particular sector of agriculture. I mean, in the longest of time, we've realized that women are always in the background, right? But this time around, I'm just super elated and proud to see that women are out there proving their worth. You don't sit back and just say, I'll cook the plantains, I'll cook the fish, I'll eat the plantain on the plantain and stuff like that. But you go out to process them and export them. And, processing and transforming food is very important because it brings in development, it brings in security of food, it brings in how do they call it? The word just went off my head, but it prevents all the germs and all the sicknesses that we can have. So it is a good thing that you guys are processing. And I hope that what you're doing is going to lead you to employ a lot of Cameroonians and make the youths to understand, because I heard you say the youths, all they think of is going to overseas, which is something that is really terrible going on right now. Yeah. So I would just like to say food transformation is a key, it's a very good key in unlocking sustainability. We have nutritious food by the transformation of food. We have food security by the transformation of food. And when we embrace that innovative technologies, we are trying to preserve our own traditional practices. So we are not only doing that just for the sake of making money. We were preserving our own culture and traditions and making sure that our food is not just cooked and ate on the same day and it gets bad the following day. So we keep them longer and we can export them and make others, other countries, other individuals to learn what we have as our kind of food and produce and how we process and consume them. So I just want to say that thank you guys. Let us continue to work together to create this food system that nourishes both people and the universe as a whole and even the planet. Let's continue to do this because it promotes diversity and makes sure that we are not only living as human beings, but we are trying to make others to live the way we want them to live. We want us to live. So together we'll continue to shape all those things. We'll continue to build all those things together. We're going to transform all those things and I'm hoping that I Am Cameroon. We are not here just to talk to you guys, but we're here to expose you. Even if it's one person that has seen you guys today, it's a pleasure for us. We're here to educate. We're here to transform. We're here to inspire. And I'm hoping that all what you've said today, because it's inspired me, and I'm hoping that it's inspired many people as well. So the one thing I'll ask of you is make sure that you register with I Am Cameroon. Don't talk today and leave. You have to be part and parcel of us. So whenever others come, you can learn from them and you can educate them.
Yes, we will.
So go to I Am Cameroon and make sure you register and be part of us. Thank you all for coming and thank you for joining us and thank you for being with us. And we'll continue to build and continue to teach Cameroonians that it's not just the government that has to do things for them, but we have to do things for ourselves. Thank you. Yeah. Back to you, Crazy.
Thank you.
All right. So again, so this really concludes our show for today. And I want to give a huge thank you, firstly, to our very, very inspirational guest, Madam Susan, Madam Agnes. You were truly inspiring. And I have no doubt we're going to bring you back at some point. I think there's a lot that we still have to get into and unravel that I'm sure we'll learn as we go along, but I look forward to that. So I do want to say thank you so much for making the time to be with us today. Of all the places you could be, and you choose to come and share your inspirational journey and story with us and the rest of our Cameroonian community and diaspora community. Thank you to all our fellow board members, and big thank you to all our audience for joining today again as well. And remember, I Am Cameroon is not just a platform, but it's really a movement that empowers and connects Cameroonians globally, right? Both in the diaspora, back home, and in the community in which we live. So stay tuned, stay connected, find out more about I Am Cameroon at iamcameroon.org, where you can find a bit about our mission, our vision, and the work we do. And we encourage you to become part of I Am Cameroon so we can keep growing our community and supporting each other and learning from each other, inspiring each other. And stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll bring you more to come. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.